Yo, it's Riker.
What is up, you amazing beautiful people? I hope you're doing well wherever you're at, and whatever time of day or night you do end up watching this video, because in today's video I will be reviewing the T26E3 Eagle 7. And let me just tell you, this is also one of my favorite tier 7 medium tanks in the game. This and the T4485. I just absolutely adore both of these tanks, and I have been playing them a crap ton lately. So without further ado, let's dive right into the review by going over the stats of this vehicle. Right away for the survivability, this tank has 1,272 hit points, which honestly is not bad. I really have not had too much of a problem with the amount of hit points this tank has, and you could definitely work with it. For the main armor, pretty much the hull, the sides and the rear, and even the lower plate of the tank, and sometimes the upper plate, basically the hull in general, is not that good. Where most of the armor is at is in the turret. I'll go over more of that in the armor inspector for you guys. When the engine is hit, it has a 20% chance of catching fire, which is on the higher side of most of the tanks that I do review. For the view range, it is definitely very good in my opinion. I have not had any troubles with it. It is almost in the 300 range. It's at 290, and you could probably boost it up to the 300 range or just about through the equipment and provisions, which I will show you guys my loadout and how I run the tank. The concealment is not bad on this tank at all. It's actually pretty decent. Obviously, upon firing, it's going to be low, but that's to be expected. And you could definitely work with the concealment. The damage per minute, you have 2,110, which compared to some other tanks at tier 7, there's a lot of DPM monsters at tier 7, like the FV201, I believe it's called, and the E25, just to mention two of them that do close to 3,000, or if not above 3,000 damage per minute. But honestly, I thought this tank had a higher damage per minute just based off the gameplay alone, because I do play the tanks first, and then when I review this is the first time I'm actually seeing the stats. So sometimes it is a shock to me just the amount that it actually has, because I thought this would be up a bit more. The reload time is not bad at all, 6.40 seconds. And for the average penetration for the AP, it is 160. For the premium AP, it is 202, and for high explosive, 45. I'm not gonna lie, you guys are going to have some troubles pinning tanks. Even the front of a T29's hull, which you guys will see later in the replays, I think that will be the last replay I will show you. But you guys will see how the penetration is not that good. And honestly, I should put that on the equipment instead of the damage per minute one. For the average damage, it is not bad. For the standard AP is 225. For the premium, it is 190, and for the high explosive, 270. So it's a good amount of alpha for this tank. And the aiming time is not bad at all, and obviously you could decrease that to close to 2.5 seconds, which you guys know I love my snapshots, and just not having to sit there for a long amount of time waiting for the aiming circle, just able to quickly snap the shot off and get back to cover. And the dispersion, I feel like, is not bad on this tank. And for the gun turn limit, for the gun elevation, you have 20 degrees, and for the gun depression, you have 10, as to be expected from most American tanks. Obviously, some of them don't have the best gun depression, but this one definitely does, sitting at 10. And for the maneuverability of this tank, for the top speed going forward, it is 40, in reverse 21, and average speed 34. And overall, in the gameplay, this is a very highly mobile tank, and I will demonstrate that in the replays that I show you, as it is a medium, and it's to be expected to be quite quick. And just skimming through the rest of the stats, like the turret turn rate and the hull turn rate, it is very good. In the terrain crossing capacity, overall, not too much of a problem. In the water, obviously a little bit, as in most tanks, you're going to have trouble in the water. But overall, very highly mobile tank, and I really don't have any complaints in that department. For the equipment I am running, at the time of the replays I was recording, this is my loadout, but honestly, I would switch out the gun rammer for the calibrated shells, as I have had enough trouble in this tank with the penetration to want to switch it to calibrated shells. Usually I could tolerate it and just run gun rammer, but in this tank, honestly, I might switch that out for calibrated shells. But this is just a template, and you guys could obviously change it to how you would like to play the tank. And then for this next one, I choose defense systems because I don't really think improved modules is really worth it. I'd rather have everything to be a little bit more durable. And like I said earlier, for the view range, I'm going to go ahead and equip improved optics so I could boost it up above that 300 mark instead of camouflaging it, because I really don't think this tank needs it. It already has good enough camo that you could work with. Next one, I chose the enhanced gun laying drive. I don't really think the tank needs supercharged, at least in my opinion, from the gameplay. I feel like enhanced gun laying drive would be the better option, and also because I do want to bring that aiming time down so I can just easily flick over and get snapshots in and get in cover before the enemy even has time to react. For this one, I chose improved assembly just to get the hit points up instead of the enhanced armor, getting that turret and hull armor up. Honestly, I might have to play around with this a little bit, but for the replays that you're going to see, I used improved assembly. And for the next one, I chose engine accelerator just to boost a little bit of everything in mobility, and I don't really think this tank needs improved control because the hull terrain is already good enough. Then for this one, vertical stabilizer, just like I said for the one above it, just to bring that aiming time down and I could flick and get snapshots in before the enemy has time to react. And I don't really think this tank needs refined gun too much. You guys could obviously play around like I have been saying, just use this as a template and adapt to your own playing style. And these last two, it's up to you guys. I just personally run toolbox and high-end consumables on pretty much every tank. Toolbox, just in case I'm stuck out in the open, I could get my track repaired or engine repaired faster instead of just sitting there just getting shot by the enemy. In high-end consumables, because I want the engine power boost and the adrenaline just to last a bit longer so I can get to places a little bit quicker than the enemy can for a longer period of time. And so I could snap an extra 2 or 3 shots with the adrenaline if I'm in those really dangerous situations and I really need that reload speed. For the ammunition, for the standard AP, I am using 58. For the premium AP, I am using 12. And for the high explosive, I am using 20. If I were to change it up a little bit, I'd just take 4 away from the standard AP, put 2 into premium and 2 into the HE. For the provisions, I'm using the case of Coca-Cola and the bottle of Coca-Cola just so it could improve everything by a little bit and make this tank more rounded and improved at the same time, if that made any sense. The same thing for improved fuel, just everything in the mobility category increased by as a whole, making this tank better. And then for the consumables, this is my loadout. I'm using multi-purpose restoration pack, the improved engine power boost, since it is available. If it wasn't, I would use the normal engine power boost, but it is available, so I'm obviously going to use that because it's a better version. And then the adrenaline, like I said earlier, get the shots off quicker. And that will do it for this part of the review. I'm going to go ahead and hop in Armor Inspector and show you guys the armor of this tank. Right away, you guys could see this tank does not really have the best armor. I'm going to go ahead and click on the lower plate, 133, the upper plate, 147. For the turret, the gun mantlet is your biggest savior on this tank, the gun mantlet and the gun, because those are the big parts of the turret that nobody can pin. The cupola is obviously going to be a weak spot sitting at 106 millimeters. And even the cheeks sometimes, right there, 119 on the cheek, 132 on the cheeks. So if the enemy can't have an accurate enough gun, they can definitely get some shots on the cheeks. But also it is kind of hard to pin at points. As you saw there, I clicked off it, but it said 1,000 something millimeters, 256, 300 something. So you can definitely work with the turret, but there are obviously weak parts on the turret. And now looking at the sides, it is sitting at 76 and then 81 going to the rear, 52 and 76. Pretty much your typical American tank. If an enemy gets behind you, they will be able to HE the back of your tank for extremely high damage. This side is going to be the same as the other side we saw. But overall, how I would play this tank and in the gameplays, I do play it more aggressively, and you guys aren't really going to see haul down too much in 1 or 2 battles maybe. When you guys do go haul down, say 10 degrees right there, I am an enemy tank. You're going up on the ridge line. Obviously, I'm going to throw up the black screen, hiding the lower plate so I could show you guys pretty much the enemy perspective, and the tank is you. Upper plate turns into 185, 193, 458. So yes, the enemy, if they have high enough penetration, can pin your upper plate still if you are in a haul down position. But obviously there are going to be some spots where they cannot pin you, like that 193 spot that I clicked on. And then the turret, the cheeks are still a big weak point. The top of the turret, the cupola, is actually 210, so and 590 right there. Honestly, the turret's pretty good. Just this cheek right here at this angle is pretty weak. Overall, unless the enemy team has a very accurate gun and they can pin the cheeks, they're not going to pin your turret at all. As I said that, I click on this part. This part has a 114, 115, but like I said, still they have to be pretty accurate with their shot. And if they hit the gun mantlet or the gun, they are definitely not going to go through that. So overall, this tank is pretty squishy, but you can get a lot of bounces in this tank, as you will see in the replays. And if I am hull down, I would try to wiggle the turret a little bit, just throw off the enemy shots, and if they're aiming for the cupola, obviously go ahead and put your gun up in the air and wiggle it in front of it so they could have a chance of missing it or hitting your gun. That is how I personally would play the tank. It is pretty squishy, but I do still play it super aggressively, and you will see that in the replays. And the first replay is so freaking insane, but without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in that. For this first replay, I could not leave it out of this video because it is just so intense and crazy. You guys will see what I'm talking about. I was a little distracted at first in the game, so that's why I haven't moved yet. But there we go, we start moving. I'm going to push with my team since everyone is going to base C and nobody went to base A. If I went to base A or B, that would just be suicide on my end. And this was actually one of my first battles in this tank, and just how it played out, I'm very glad that I got this tank to experience this battle, because if I didn't, obviously this would have never happened. But I do start pushing over here, try to snap a shot into that Drac. However, he is too fast and I miss. Was going to push up into that spotting position, but he pushed our T49 Hornet so aggressively I had to rush in and try to save him. Hit him, and I think I did a little bit of ram damage before the T49 deleted him from the game. Enemy T49 comes in and Drac just goes flying over me. Does some damage, I hit him. He doesn't ammo rack me, he damages my ammo rack. Get a shot into him. But now that T26E3 is pushing up on me, his ammo rack is damaged. I hit him in the ammo, and I ammo rack him, sending his turret flying. Now I'm just trying to get into cover and wait for this reload. T49 is trying to rush me, peek out, get a shot into him, and his turret goes flying right over me, just hitting me in the back. SU-152 is tracked. I know if I get hit by him, he's definitely one shot. Got a tank on my right hand side, so I try to shoot the SU-152 in the track since I am on a full reload and my ammo rack is damaged. Luckily, he fires, misses, and he is damaged. Taken out of the game, my bad. The Drac comes back. He does a somersault or cartwheel, whatever you guys call it. Hit him, and now he is taken out of the game. As you can see, in that 1 minute or 1 minute and 30-second time span, we ammo racked an enemy tank. A Dracula went flying over us. Another Dracula did a cartwheel. SU-152 almost took me out, and I was almost targeted by 2 enemy tanks and taken out of the game. That game was just so intense, I could not leave it out of this review, and hopefully that did demonstrate how effective this tank is. And I know some of it was just RNG and luck on my side, but my positioning, how I reacted, did definitely benefit from this battle. And if I was not running this tank and I was running a different tank, I do not think I would have survived that. And for this next battle, it will demonstrate how effective this tank is in brawling. I would not recommend it. Just not brawling in this tank, not recommendable at all. But in the situations that you do have to brawl in this tank, you have no other choice, the tank is in front of you, and you have nowhere to go besides go forward and try to buy as much time for your team as possible and get as many bounces as possible. This replay will demonstrate that very effectively, but right away I do push over to the base C area. There's the agent, so I am going to get into this little haul down position. He does bounce my turret. As I told you guys earlier, you can get bounces in the turret if you are in haul down position. Get a shot into that agent, and I'm pushing up a little bit too far, so I do take a hit. Get another shot into him, however, and there's the P43. He moved up into that position, so I decided to push out, focus that agent, just take him out of the game since he was one shot for me. But I realize that the AMX is pushing from behind, so I know I have to push forward unless I just want to get focused and destroyed. Focusing this P43 since he is the lowest hit point tank in front of me, damage him and ram him, taking him out of the game. Gonna help our Sherman Firefly. And looking back on it, I should have went the other way around and helped him. Instead, I decided to go this way. Keep an eye on that AMX, making sure he doesn't switch targets, and I'm getting hit from behind from the enemy MT25. However, I am going to focus this Sherman Firefly, hopefully take him out before he takes out our teammate, and yes, we do. His turret goes flying since he was ammo racked, but the MT25 is going to take out our Firefly, which is very unfortunate. Get a bounce from the MT25. I think I got a hit into him, or I did some ram damage. Wasn't really paying attention right there. But I get another shot into him, and I am going to start brawling with him. And now the AMX is pushing up on me. So I decided to focus the MT25 because he is the lowest hit point tank, and I could lower this 2v1 down to a 1v1. There we go. We take him out of the game. And now I'm a definite one shot for that AMX. And I did position myself so that he did not ram me full on, because if he did, I would have been out of the game already. but we do get one block, get another block, get a shot into him. And right now, this is going to demonstrate how to effectively brawl in this tank. Put your gun in the way of his gun and get super close so he can't really get the gun down and bounces your turret. I got 2 to 3, maybe even 4 bounces before he actually took me out of the game, and I did get a little mad at my T25 because he just sat there and watched me get taken out of the game. And that would frustrate you guys too as well, because if I had help from him, I could have still been in the game and gotten the AMX taken out. But our Tiger, Kiramori Mine, or Mini, however you want to pronounce it, is going to be able to take out the enemy AMX for the win. And in that battle, it did really demonstrate a hold down position towards the start against that agent, just 1 or 2 shots, and he did bounce us. It also demonstrated the mobility of this tank, getting to that position and dealing with the Firefly, getting over there in time just to barely save him, but then again, he got taken out by the MT25 at the same time. Also, it showed if you really have to brawl it out with an enemy tank, you have to get close enough to put your gun in the way, and also just so he can't really get the gun down and hits your turret. With that AMX, how me and him were brawling it out. And the next battle is going to be the mastery in the T26E3 Eagle 7. Just going to demonstrate the mobility yet again, haul down position, how to play, and it also will demonstrate the penetration of this tank, how it is pretty bad at times, like on that T29 that I mentioned earlier in this video. But right away, I did push over to base C, just trying to see if I could spot enemy tanks, and also see if I could go into the base, cap it out if the enemy team went over to base A or B. But there's the agent he spotted. Going to get a shot to him. He gets a shot into me, so we traded, but I had the better trade since I did more damage. I'm just going to go ahead and trade with him, track him in place if my teammates did push around to help me out. See if I could track him one more time. There we go, we track him again. And our teammate is going to be able to get a shot into him, lowering him down to a 1-shot. I do push up very aggressively, get a shot into him before you could snap a shot off, but there is a SU-152. I start backing up because I do not want to be hit by that nasty gun. Get a shot into him after he does fire and he's backing up, so I'm going to push up, be super aggressive since I know my reload is faster than his. Get another shot into him, track him in place, but he does repair it. I know he's pretty much reloaded by this point, so I'm just trying to bait him out a little bit and let my team go first, take the hit. There we go. He is hit one more time. I get another shot into him. He is definitely 1 shot, and our EA is going to be able to take him out of the game. I'm going to focus that P4306 anniversary, get a very nasty high roll into him, and he is trying to run away, but I think my team takes him out. If not hit my team, I think I'd take him out of the game. There we go. The AMX AC46 does take him out of the game, and there's T29. As you guys saw, that shot hit the sand right next to me, so I know somebody was trying to focus me over on the left hand side of the map. There we go, we get another bounce, and then right now I could assume it is the Nashorn just based off the alpha of the tank. So I get into cover, just trying to cap out base C, and there we go, our M6 is hit by that Nashorn. So hopefully he gets cover before he is taken out, but it looks like he's just about to be taken out of the game. There we go. Yes, see, the Nashorn did take him out, so that just confirms, along with the other enemy tanks, they are spotted. There we go. We tried to track the T29, however, did not quite work out, and I was being super aggressive. And as you saw, I had to switch to premium ammunition just to pin the front of his tank. And we are in a pretty bad spot since the Nashorn, the T29, and if the heavy tank behind the T29 wanted to get a shot to me, I think it's Tiger 1. No, and the Annihilator. I'm just getting wrecked right now. I did get a lucky few bounces, but I decided to get back into cover as that's the best option for me. Annihilator comes out, I get a bounce from him, and he misses the other 2 shots. Get a shot into him. My team is lighting him up. I get one more shot into him, and I decide I'm going to chase him, try to get one more shot into him, take him out of the game. There we go. We end up taking him out of the game before T29 could push up and get another shot into us. Tiger 1 is also a 1 shot, so I'm going to try and focus him real quick, but there's the T29. Get a lucky bounce from him, and I have to shoot. Even if I shoot his lower plate, still get a bounce with the standard ammunition. I have to switch to premium to even pin the T29 on the front at all. But he is taken out of the game. All that's left is the Tiger 1 and the Nashorn. Take out that Tiger 1 pretty easily, but I do get hit in return. There we go, push up, try to get a shot off, but it hits those rocks in front of me, and my team is just going to light him up. And decide to push up, try to rush in, get one more shot off, and take him out of the game, hopefully, before my team does. He's definite 1 shot for me now, no matter what. Trying to rush in there, but our FB201 does end up taking him out of the game. And we do end up winning the battle. But there we go, we get the mastery, 2,927 damage. Very good credits. This tank is also a very good credit maker, and 3 tanks destroyed. I believe we are on top of leaderboard for that battle. But overall, is this tank worth getting at all? Yes, it is definitely worth it. And right now, currently at the time of making this video, it is in an event. If you win enough battles, get enough jingle bells, you can get the tank for free. So definitely, if you can get it that way, go ahead and get it for free. But for price ranges, if it comes out later in the future, for gold, I will go roughly 10 to 11k will be my max for this tank. For tier 7 premium, yes, that will be my max. And for money, roughly $11 or $12 I feel like would be my max if it came out for money. I hope this video did help you guys deciding whether this tank is worth getting or not through the reviews, the stats, my equipment layout, and even the how to play parts of this video. Hope it just helped you guys overall as a whole. But if you did end up liking the video, smash the like button and leave a comment on your favorite part of the video or anything in general down in the comment section below. Subscribe and hit that bell notification so you're always notified when I upload a video. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.
How does it feel to breathe when you're dead? They never seen you